Hard work and laziness. Once upon a time, there lived a young man in a large house. He had a parrot named Polly. The young man used to wake up late in the afternoon, ate up his meals, and then go to his bed again. This was his everyday schedule. Polly was an intelligent parrot. Polly the parrot used to sit on the window, and he was aware of the fact that everyone should have the means to earn their own living. The parrot was worried about his young friend's future. His friend's behavior made the parrot puzzled. One day, Polly could not hold herself from asking his friend, "What is the matter? Don't you get tired of resting all through day and night? The sun has been out hours ago, and the people have finished half of their daily routine's work. How can you take rest all day in this world, which is full of hustle and bustle? Why are you so lazy?" Polly, the parrot asked, ruffling her feathers. The lazy young man yawned while resting and said, "Every morning, when I wake up, two of my friends came near me and starts whispering in my ears. One of them is hard work, and the other one is called laziness. Hard work tells me to get up. There is a lot of work waiting for you. Don't waste your time in resting all day long, as time is flying. On the other hand, laziness tells me not to make a hurry in getting up. It says there are many other people who do hard work. It advises me to sleep more and more." The young man continued, "They keep on whispering all through the day, and I keep on listening to them patiently. All my time goes listening to both of them. That is the reason of lying on the bed for a longer time." Moral of the story: just talk does not help. We should get up and work. The foolish fish. Deep in the jungle, buried among the trees, was a pond. In that pond many fishes lived. They were very happy there. They swam all day and enjoyed. Since it was situated within the forest, nobody came to bother them. Among the fishes lived a crocodile. This crocodile kind-hearted and did not bother the fishes even once. But he could not help but notice how arrogant the little fishes were. One day, the crocodile says to the fish, "It does not pay well to be overconfident and arrogant. It will only lead to troubles for you." The fishes did not pay any heed to the kind crocodile's words and ignored him completely by saying, "There he goes. Who does he think he is?" Then one day, when the crocodile had gotten out of the pond to rest beneath a tree, he heard a few footsteps approaching. Quickly, the crocodile hid among the leaves. From there, he saw two men approach the pond. The men were extremely happy. "Look, look," one of them says. "There are countless healthy fishes." The other one takes a look and becomes excited as well. "You're right," he exclaims. "We should come back tomorrow with our nets and other tools and catch them what we can." After deciding on coming back the next day, the two men left. Now, the crocodile had been watching the two men carefully, and he had heard the entire conversation. At once, the crocodile hurried into the pond. "I have to warn the little fishes," he thought. Slipping into the pond, he went straight to the fishes. "You all must flee," the crocodile tells them. "Leave this pond before dawn. I overheard two fishermen who were talking about capturing you all." The foolish fishes only laughed at the crocodile. "Oh, really?" they say. "Many fishermen have tried to catch us previously, but none could. Why should we bother now? Don't worry about us, crocodile, no one will be able to catch us. The poor crocodile tried to convince them otherwise, but all was in vain. Next morning, the fishermen came as promised, and they threw in their strong nets. The fishes swam around in a frenzy, as the nets were large and strong. They tried and tried, but soon enough, all were caught. It was only then that they realized how foolish they had been. Only if we had listened to the crocodile. Our arrogance is the cause of all this. But it was already too late. The fishes were caught, and fishermen sold them in the fish market at a great price. Moral of the story: listen to advice and accept correction. Tit for tat. There was a very rich old woman. She had lost her eyesight. She went to a doctor to get herself treated. The doctor asked the old woman, "What will I get from you if I treat you?" "Doctor, I have everything. Don't you worry. If I get my eyesight back, I will reward you. But if I don't get, well then, I won't give you anything." The doctor agreed and promised to get started with her treatment from the next day. The doctor started her treatment, but seeing her decorated and beautiful house, he got tempted. The old woman could not see. So, the doctor stole away all the material one by one. After stealing everything, the doctor stopped going to her house. One day, as the god was seeing everything, he decided to give back her eyesight. Sooner or later, one fine day, the old woman got her eyesight back. She dug out the treasure from the backyard and started leading a good life. The doctor thought that he had already taken everything, including money, jewelry, whatever belonged to the old woman. He thought, "I have taken everything of her." But when he saw the same royal standard of her living, he went and complained to the king. The old woman accepted in front of the king and said, "I did say that if I get my eyesight back, I will reward the doctor. But I could not see anything. So, why should I reward him? My lord, you tell me, when I lost my eyesight, my house was full of furniture, decorative pieces. But when I got my eyesight, I could see nothing in my house, not even a vessel. Then how can he say that I have got my eyesight back? If I can see, where are my belongings?" The king freed the old woman and ordered the doctor to return all her belongings. Moral: you reap what you sow. The good side of things. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a king who was fond of hunting. He had a chief minister who was a very wise and optimistic man. He was so optimistic about everything that it irritated the king. One day, the king and the minister went hunting in a dense forest in the outskirts of the kingdom. As they went on, they began to get hungry. The king said, "I will have some coconuts for lunch," and cut a coconut from a tree with his sword. Suddenly, the sword slipped from the king's hand, and its sharp blade fell on his foot, cut off his toe. The king screamed in pain and turned to his minister. To his shock, the minister laughed and said, "Oh, that's magnificent." The king was furious to hear this and said, "How can it be magnificent?" The minister replied, "Well, your majesty, everything happens for the best. We may not be able to see the good in it now, but we'll realize it in the future." The king was very angry. He pushed the minister into the dry well that was nearby and hobbling back towards his palace. On his way, he was captured by a group of wild tribals who decided that he would be an excellent sacrifice to their god. The king was carried to the tribal priest to get him ready for the sacrifice. The king was very scared. To his good fortune, the tribal priest found that the king had a toe missing and said, "I am sorry. We cannot use him for our sacrifice. We cannot offer anyone who is damaged to our gods." The tribals set the king free and went away. The king rushed back to the well, where he had pushed his minister and pulled him out. Then, hugging the minister, he said, "I am very sorry, my dear friend. You are indeed wise." The king then told him of all that had happened. The minister smiled and said, "You don't have to apologize, Your Majesty. I am lucky that you pushed me into the well. Thank you." The king was puzzled and said, "Why are you thanking me? I did you wrong." The minister laughed and said, "Oh no, Your Majesty, you saved my life. If you had not pushed me into the well, those tribals would have caught me and I would have been made the sacrifice." The king was taken aback by this truth and said, "You are right, my dear friend. You are truly wise. From now on, I'll always look at things from a positive point of view." The king and the minister then made their way home. When the queen saw them coming back, she went to them and asked, "Well, my dear king, were you able to catch any animal?" The king replied, "No, dear queen. I did not catch any animal, but I got something more valuable." "What is that?" asked the queen. The king smiled and said, "Wisdom." Moral of the story: always look at the good things in the life and never dwell on the negative. Thank you.